Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education Station. It's the information that you need to know. It's not about the video because it's not amazing video, so just listen up. Today's topic is about how not to be annoyed with changing schedule. If your work schedule or school or whatever has you waking up early some days and late other days, there's nothing worse to make you annoyed than to have to change your sleep and wake schedule, and it's just hard to adjust. So what can you do? So anyway, if these videos and the other videos, none of it is financial advice because legally I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm a master educator. Usually my IQ is over 120, so I can help out a lot. If people followed my advice, we would have a peaceful, clean, safe planet with better future, and you would be financially better off. So anyway, now what can you do with your sleep schedule? Okay, two things. Number one, find the earliest time that you need to wake up on a regular basis. If it's just once or twice a year, don't worry about that. But if several weeks out of the year you have to wake up early at a certain time, you might as well just set that as your normal wake up time. So just set that if you don't like switching your schedule. Now if you're fine and you don't care, waking up early is easy for you. Maybe you're a morning person and it's no consequence. But if you are a evening person and sometimes you have to wake up early and it just bothers you, well, you can cut out all caffeine, get to bed early, don't have bright lights, and just wake up early, but you don't have to get out of bed. So just always wake up early, and then you get to enjoy just maybe listening to music or sleeping in, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. But at least, if that time comes and you need to get up early, not just wake up early, then you're already used to waking up at that time, and then you won't be so annoyed. So there you go. So that's what you can do. And other thing is, if you live where it's just not sunny in the morning, then set a light timer which you plug into the outlet, and then you connect a light to it, and it's a timer that you would set for the time that you would like to wake up. Don't put it right next to your face or right next to your bed unless you absolutely like that. It's probably pretty annoying. But put it somewhere in the room that it's going to be bright, and so you'll just wake up naturally. You won't even notice that it's time to wake up. You'll wake up and you'll feel rested and awake, as long as you're not staying up with bright lights, video games, or TV or whatever late at night. So on say a work night or a school night, whatever, that's when you should get exercise during the day and not at night. And also don't do video activities in the evening, because it's just going to make you tired and annoyed, and actually your brain hurts. That's why you're unhappy, because you've hurt your brain by just using it too much. And so all during school or work or whatever, you just feel grumpy and tired, and maybe even not thinking clearly or whatever, especially in the mornings when you have to get going, if that's your time to get going. That's a sign that you're staying awake too much and doing too much with your brain, especially at night, and maybe not eating right, not exercising right. Let's go to exercise. You don't have to do too much, but maybe just walking at least an hour a day. But you don't have to do weight training or aerobic exercise or whatever. If you're working and moving around during the day, you may be getting enough exercise, but if you're not, if you're sitting down, first of all, you need a job where you're not sitting down, because that is just not healthy. So maybe you can handle it maybe 4 hours a day during waking hours, of sitting around, but more than that, no, it's just not good for you. You're not going to feel right. So if that's your job, is to sit there, and especially if it's computer oriented, where you don't even move your body. Now there are some jobs where you sit, but you're moving your body and it takes effort. So for example, like in dentistry, or in maybe some product assembly or sewing or something, well, at least you're moving around. So even though you're sitting down, it's probably okay, probably not too bad. But if you can stand up, even better. And but so that's going to improve your health if you can stand up and stop sitting around so much. Improve your health, and you'll feel more rested and not so annoyed. And also, riding in a car is really going to harm you, not because 15 or 20 minutes sitting in a car is bad, but because it means you're not walking. And then if your job is sitting around, then so you don't get enough walking in. Like I said, you need about an hour a day probably as a minimum. And you can also do swimming and bike riding and roller skating and skateboarding and other things. But if you do certain things like tennis, soccer, running, those are going to damage your body. You'll get tennis elbow, soccer injuries, running injuries, pretty much. Not 100% guaranteed. Depends on how often you do it. Even golf, you can get some kind of golf shoulder or whatever if you do it too much. So, once a week may be okay for certain sports. But other sports, like especially soccer, hockey, baseball, highlight, and football and whatever, chances are, sometime you're going to get injured, and then you'll have that pain for quite some time. So that's why much better to walk, ride a bike, or swim. And you don't have to do too much of it. Don't wear yourself out, but have a walking work where you're not just always sitting down. You need to be active somewhat, or work part-time, cut back your expenses to be happy. And good luck. So now onto nutrition. You need to eat healthy. You probably know what junk food is. Well, don't be eating junk food. You want a junky life? You want to feel like junk? You want your health to be junky? No, of course not. So stop eating junk food. Well, what is junk food? Well, things like pizza, hamburgers, potato chips, French fries, and soda. That's a start, because most most Americans eat those things, and some people eat those regularly and don't see any problem with those things, but they're not healthy.